I am a self-proclaimed Idaho Foodbank ambassador. I am also an official backpack buddy, and I recently did a backpack build at the Idaho Foodbank, and thank you to all my volunteers who signed up through my Kate University platform and joined me as we built backpacks. But someone asked me, they were like, how did you get involved with the Idaho Foodbank? And I realized I hadn't shared this story in a long time, and I can't assume that you were listening to the radio all those years ago. But in my former life, I used to be on the radio here in Boise, and I was literally reading a newspaper article one afternoon, and it was about the Idaho Foodbank, and they were talking about food insecure children here in our community. And I'm like, I'd never heard that term. I didn't know what food insecure meant. And in case you don't, it means that you don't know where your next meal is coming from. And I was literally blown away. I'm like, wait, like people right here in our community, like kids that I see out walking to school, like right here? Because to me, like hunger and starvation and all of that, that's like third world country. That's way over there. That doesn't affect people. I mean, we're a first world country. Are you kidding? We're the greatest country in the world. We don't have people that don't know where they're going to get their next meal. I was blown away. I was like, well, we have to do something. Like, we have to fix this. And so I came up with this idea that I was like, I want to get, you know, as much food as we can to the Idaho Food Bank. I want to help those people in need. I have this microphone in front of me every single morning. I'm going to use it for good. Not that I used it for evil, but, you know, I was like, we've got to do something. Like, I just felt such a calling. And like I said, blown away at the idea of how many people here, especially in our community, in our state, that were in need of food. I just could not fathom that. I'm a planner. I know what I'm going to eat next Thursday. Like, I'm always thinking about food, and it just hurt my heart, especially to think about these young kids that didn't have anything to eat. And so I came up with this idea that I was like, let's fill a semi full of food. Let's get as many people as we can to bring food out, and we'll fill this semi. And I was going to live on the semi for an entire week, and I was going to broadcast the morning show from the top of the semi. I was going to, you know, hang out all day, all night, broadcasting live, encouraging people to come out and bring food so we could fill this semi. I lived in a tent. It was freezing cold. It was December. Not even sure how that great idea came about to do this in December. I'm sure I volunteered. I was like, I'll do it. But anyways, so we fill this semi like in one day. Like, I'd planned this whole week. I was like, oh, we're going to be out here for a week to fill a semi. Well, we filled the semi in one day. And then the next day, we filled another semi, and the next day, and the next day. And it was absolutely amazing. In 5 days, we filled 5 semis full of food for people in need, non-perishable food items. It was unreal. And so was the stench. Like, I smelled like a farm animal by the time I got down from the top of that semi. But anyways, it was an unforgettable experience. And so that was really like my first getting involved with the Idaho Food Bank. Like, how can I give back? How can I help? And so I was hooked. I wanted to do more. And I especially really wanted to help our school-age children that they talked about that were really in need. And that's where I got involved with the Backpack Buddy program. So from the semi, I just kind of moved into, okay, how do I do this? And it went from, I didn't really want to live on a semi again. That was that was so cold in December. So I'm like, what else can I do? So we came up with this idea to do a radio-a-thon, and we did it every year. And we did it in August, right around back to school time. And we would encourage people to sign up to be backpack buddies. And what a backpack buddy is someone that donates money to the Idaho Food Bank, and then they have a nutritionist on staff who then buys the food, and it has to be specific food because it's going to school age kids. So we got to make sure that it's nutritious. We got to make sure that it's lightweight because they are carrying it home from the school. We got to make sure that it's easy to open. They have little hands. We, you know, can't have them having to like boil stuff on the stove and things like that. And so the nutritionist picks out all this food. So that's why with the Backpack Buddy program, it can only be monetary donation. So we would do this radio-a-thon. People would call in and sign up. And for $25 a month, which comes out to $300 a year, you're a backpack buddy. You are sponsoring a child every single week. And these kids are identified either through like school counselors, teachers, sometimes even parents are contacting the school explaining that there's a need at home. They don't have enough food to get them through the weekend is really what it comes down to. And so these kids they'll get the lunch at school. When I was on the radio at that time, they were getting lunch at school, and then that might be their last meal for the weekend. And then they would have to get all the way back to school and on Monday before they would eat again. And so these backpacks are full of 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 2 dinners, and 2 snacks to get them through the weekend. And a lot of times these kids are sharing with siblings. A lot of times they're sharing with parents. But there is something there for them to get them through the weekend. Now we have in our schools where they're getting breakfast as well, and then they're getting lunch from the school, so they're getting more food. But it was like, just that's how I got into it, and I've never given it up. I'm not on the radio anymore, but I am still a backpack buddy. I donate $25 a month, $300 a year. It is worth every single penny, knowing that there's a student every Friday that's getting a backpack and they're getting food throughout the weekend. And these packs, they're clear packs with the food in it, and it goes right inside of their backpack. So there's no identifiers, there's no shaming, there's no bullying, there's no like, hey, Idaho Foodbank backpack buddy kid right here. Nope, their backpack, they look the exact same as all the other kids getting on the bus. They've just got a little more weight in there because they've got food to get them through the weekend and get them back to school. And so, and there's a need. We've got over 8% of Idaho school children are food insecure currently. Right now, 2024. Last year, the Idaho Foodbank distributed over 63,000 backpacks, and that still wasn't enough. The need grows every single year. And you probably get it too. I mean, I get it. Food is more expensive than it's ever been before. Obviously, inflation's been an issue the last couple years. The grocery bill is probably one of the highest bills in your house. And so those that are struggling to make ends meet, they need help to feed their children. And so that's where the Backpack Buddy program comes in. And if you can think like, can I spare $25 a month? Figure that out for your budget. Like I just mentioned, inflation's high. All of our bills are a little higher than normal. It doesn't have to be the full $300 a year if that's something you can't do. A one-time donation makes a difference as well. The Idaho Food Bank, when you donate $1, it turns into around $7 for them. They've got food partners that they can make that money go an extra amount, and so they're able to buy more. So can you donate $5? Can you donate $10? Like I say this to people all the time. If every single person in Idaho donated $1, donated $2, $5 to the Idaho Food Bank, we would literally make the biggest difference with our food insecure families and children. It would be unreal. $1, $2, literally, if we get it is all about, quantity right now. We need as many people as we can to donate, and it doesn't have to be that full $300. If you can do more, great. But I am no longer on the radio, like I said, but I am still just as passionate about the Idaho Food Bank. I'm a backpack buddy, and I'm doing a donation drive right now, and you can click on this link and you can donate to the Idaho Food Bank. Here's my page. It's Kate's Backpack Buddies. Become a backpack buddy by making the donation. It's a tax write-off if you need, but it just goes a long way, and you're helping these kids in need. And just a little bit about these kids is that don't even get me started on the rant of I'm not going to help someone who can't go out and help themselves. These are children. I don't care about their parents. I don't care if they're deadbeats. I don't care what they're doing. These helpless children did not pick their parents if they are those types of people. But a lot of people are also just right in between. They had a medical emergency this year. They had something major happen. They lost their job. I fully believe we are all one medical emergency nightmare away from bankruptcy. And so you just never know what these families are going through. So I don't understand punishing innocent children because of parents, and whether it's a medical nightmare, whether they are making bad decisions in their lives. I don't think the kids should suffer. So I will get off my soapbox about that. But these kids, when kids are hungry, they don't do as well in school. They're not sleeping good at night because their tummies hurt. They're hungry. Imagine when you're hungry. Then they come to school. They're disruptive in the classroom. They have found out that kids need breakfast. That's why they're feeding kids breakfast now at school for free, because kids learn better. They pay better attention. They're more engaged. They're not disruptive to your children. If you're hearing about a kid who's always disruptive in class, one of the first questions teachers and counselors are instructed to ask them, did you have breakfast? When is the last time you ate? And they're finding that hunger is a big contributor to these behavioral issues. So that helps. Like, think of it that way. We're helping all the kids in the classroom by making sure all of them have full tummies. They act better. They're not hangry. They're not disruptive. So if that helps you, gives you a little incentive to donate, there you go. But yeah, I'm trying to raise $2,500 for the Idaho Food Bank right now. That would be 13 backpack buddies if you wanted to donate the full $300, but it doesn't have to be. $2,500 is my goal. I would love every single little bit, from $1 to $5 all the way up to the $300 sponsorship for a backpack buddy. All of it makes a difference, and it stays here locally with the Idaho Food Bank. It stays in our community. So check out the link below, learn more, share this with anyone you know, because I believe that, you know, if we want to be the change that we want to see in the world, it starts with us. Share that news, help someone else learn about the Idaho Food Bank as well.